Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I got to say this again. Shabbat Shalom. That means rest, peace. Rest, peace. Yes, I do keep his Shabbat according to his calendar, and his calendar is determined by what's written in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. For his calendar, y'all, is made up of the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. If your calendar lacked these three lights, you would go greatly in error. Please watch those videos that's listed on the channel, because we give you evidence of showing you other people records as well as our records to prove unto you how you can go in error when you don't follow Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. He also has given us the prophets too, and one of his prophets, many of you know about, has the mathematical formulas of his calendar. And as I had discussed with y'all in the past, even the Gentiles been using his sacred formulas to schedule their heathen days next to the Most High sacred holy days. Oh yeah, it's in the 1611. That's proof of that. And that's not the only prophet that I'm thinking about. Prophet Enoch. There is another prophet in the Bible too, was given the formula for his calendar setup, and that is the prophet Ezekiel. Okay, so I want to share y'all with some proof. This is sound proof. Okay, and so the title of this word for today, or this announcement, is 2021 Abib New Year predicted by YAH God calendar formula. Oh yes, that's a formula that the Father has given unto us that will predict when will the new year begin, or when will the new moon begin. Yes, and in the past several weeks we've been going over the calendar records, showing unto you that this formula, y'all, is solid. It will not lead you wrong. So take this time now to look at the picture again. Look on the title. Now I'm going to take you to the proof and the evidence, okay? Okay. Now, the first place I need to go to, where should we begin? I'm trying to think, y'all. Where do I want to start? Because this is going to be real quick. Yes, now I know where. I was looking at the new moon, y'all, because I wanted to get an idea when will we see the next new moon, because we know this is the Most High Sabbath day, okay? According to his prophets and according to the formulas. Remember, you have to read those sacred books, and there's many other books that would confirm what I'm saying to you, as well as the heavens and the earth would confirm this as well, for they are his witnesses, that the Sabbath is determined by the heavens. And one of the proof you can look at is the 1582 era and the 1752 era. You will find that when Rome and when America realized they didn't have the correct days, because you know they go by the sun, when they made a correction, y'all, they started on the wrong day of the week. So your Sabbath is no longer Sabbath anymore. It has been changed. And in the past videos on the channels, I have proof and evidence of that, showing you the 1582 calendar record of Rome and showing you the 1752 calendar of America. And you will see they started on the wrong day of the week. So again, this is proof unto you. You cannot use the heathen calendar to get none of the Most High holy days. You have to go back to the beginning, to the foundation, which is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. Okay. Now, what you see before you, we're on Renew Moon website. Okay. And I was reading the description to get an idea, when will we see the next new moon? And y'all, when I read this, my mouth dropped. I said, okay, because today, y'all, I did the formula and it matched to what Renew Moon is saying. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Let me get this pulled up, because I want to see if anyone comment. So that way I know what's going on as I'm sharing my screen. Okay. On the Renew Moon website, it says this, y'all. This is the latest update as of Sunday. That's the Heathens' Day. You know they go by naming their days of the week after the Most High creations for they worship the hosts of heaven. So they said this was updated as of Sunday on March the 28th in the year of 2021 AD. Okay. And it says that the next renewed moon crescent will begin the second month of the year. Now, I do want to explain this. They are falling behind the Jewish, the YAHUAH. Remember, they don't follow the prophets of God. They don't follow the prophets of Yah. Okay, so this is why they have began their year in the month of March instead of in the heathen month of April. Okay, I have proof, I have evidence to confirm everything I'm saying unto you. Okay, shalom to those who just came on. Because the calendar record's gonna back it up. They are not following the calendar formulas that was given unto the prophet Enoch and unto Ezekiel. No, they're not following. So this is why they're in error. And I'm also aware there are many other Israelites who are falling behind the Jewish, following what they're saying. Okay. But let us continue to read. I just want to let you know right now we are in the 13th month. Okay. And we're in the 4th week of the Most High calendar. And today is the 29th day of the month. Far as the date of the sun, let me give that to you. It's going to take a while to show. Let me refresh my screen as I'm waiting for that to pull up. Let me see. So we're in the sun's 23rd day in its first month. We're in the sun's 23rd day in its first month. As far as the day of the moon, we're in the moon 13th month and 29th day. And today is his Sabbath. Okay, let us go back to the new moon. All right. So it goes on to say the first reports of the crescent sightings are expected in the area of Hawaii on Monday evening on April the 12th. Now, y'all, that's Hawaii. This is not the only time Hawaii has seen the new moon before everybody else. But when you read Enoch's formulas, you will learn that sometimes the moon would not show at her appointed time. Sometimes she would do strange things. And there's things, there are certain tests you can do to confirm what day is the correct day. So I'm only going to tell you this now. The incorrect day would be April 12th. That is something strange that the moon is doing. All right. Then it go on to say Israel-based observers, along with most errors globally. So in addition to Israel, also worldwide, we should have reports the following evening on April the 13th. So the rest of the world going to see the new moon on April the 13th. Okay. Now, the site I went to is renewmoon.com. renewmoon.com. Okay. Now, the next thing I went to is timeanddate.com because I wanted, before I do that, I need to show y'all this before we begin to cover any copyright laws because this is for educational purposes only. Okay. So I went to timeanddate.com because I wanted to see what was the date and time of the dark moon. And remember what the prophet Enoch saying. He says that when there's no light upon her, that is the end of the month. It's in his writings. Again, the Father gives you the prophets. Okay. But many of us are not listening to his prophets. We're doing the same thing like these ancestors of ours have done. Y'all running to other books, to other people, but the Father is the same. He has always given you the prophets. He's always given you his messengers. So when you have to face him in the day of judgment, I'd rather stand by his prophets because they're going to justify me for what I follow instead of falling behind other people. So just keep that in mind. So when you have to meet your Father in heaven to be judged, what's going to justify you on that day of judgment? His prophets, following the instructions of his prophets, even the prophets of today, who again going to align to what? The prophets of old, the prophets of the ancient, right? Okay. Either we're going to stand by his prophets to justify us in his courts, or you're going to stand by whomever or whatever book you are reading. So I'm just going to tell y'all straight up, I'd rather stand by his prophets. because I can't go wrong if I listen to his prophets, because his prophets are his mouthpiece. Okay? Remember, our Father do not change. So I went to timeanddate.com to look at the moon phases for Iraq, Israel. So the next dark moon, which is the sign unto us to let us know that it's the end of the month because the moon has no light upon her. That will happen on April the 12th at 5:30 a.m. Now, for those who've been studying about the heavens, from doing other research, you will learn that the next available time to see the new moon crescent takes about 12 to 15 hours. So when you look at this, you're like, this is plenty of time for the new moon crescent to be seen at sundown in the west, right? That's what all of us be thinking. Remember what the prophet Enoch said about the moon? She does her own thing, and it's for a reason. Sometimes she performs a sign unto you, Israelites, to let you know who you are. Sometimes she's doing this because she will slow up or she will speed up. She will do it because she's following the orders of the Father. Remember, Passover and the Feast of Tabernacles, you got Abib 14, and you have Tishri or Ethanim 15. They must fall on the full moon day. That is the rule. So, because of the command of the Father, she is going to slow down. And she's going to show up on April the 13th at sundown as projected by renewmoon.com. All right. So here's the formula to confirm everything I'm telling unto y'all. Okay. I'm giving y'all the formula now. All right. And for those who want to join us for the calendar to learn about these formulas, we meet on the heathen day that they call Saturday or Saturday day. That's the day of Saturday. That's the day we meet, and we start around 11. Okay, so if you're interested in coming to learn about his calendar, then call 919-972-8970. All right. Now, what y'all see before you, y'all know me. I'm about making charts and putting together formula. So what we're going to look at, y'all, is the year of 2020 to 2021. Now, in order to do his formula, like I say, you have to keep a record because you have to know your bank of days. And the reason why you have to know your bank of days for those who keep a 13th month, when you add the 13th month, it's going to offset, or you will not be able to see how many days the moon is short. Okay, because you're adding a bank of days to offset the shortage of days the moon has in this year when you compare it to the sun. And y'all think about this is like common sense, but I'm gonna call it heavenly sense. When you think about it, the moon year is shorter than the sun year. Therefore, it should start what? Early and early each year. In other words, your moon is going to start way before the equinox day of the sun. And what is going to happen as the years go by, your new year or your new moon for the new year we end up starting in winter. And we have already proven that, by showing y'all or sharing with y'all the records. Again, go back and watch those videos that's listed on the channel, you'll see. And even now you can look at it. The moon started on March the 13th of this year, I believe. I had to go back and look, y'all. But even for the next year, you ought to know it's about 10 to 11 days shorter than the sun. So if it started on the 13th, it started on the 14th, it's going to probably start next year around the 3rd or around the 4th of March. It's just simple math, y'all. Okay, again, math don't lie when it's done correctly. All right, so you have to know that. And because the Father has been teaching me how to keep a record, I already know that I have a bank of 5 days from the year of 2019 to 2020. Because what happened was, y'all, we added a 13th moon in the year of 2018 to 2019. So because I've been keeping record and seeing how many days left, because remember, a bank is giving you so many days to offset the number of days the moon is short than the sun. Okay. So in other words, if I have a bank of 30 days, and that moon year was short by 10 to 11 days, I just take 10 to 11 minus 30, and that's how many days I have left in the bank. And you have to remember that and carry it over for each year, and then take away each time, the moon is short until you have to redo it again. This is how Enoch not came up with the formula, but this is what the creator came up with of the 358 rule. Okay. So now let's look at the year of 2020 to 2021. Now this is cycle 5. When I say cycle 5, this is the 5th. This is the number 5 out of the 358 rule. And this is the first fold. Okay. And I say first fold is in the first fold of the 19th year. The first fold of the sevenfold. Remember, the heaven will produce an extra moon, okay, 7 times in 19 years. The King James 611 Bible has proof and evidence of what I'm sharing to y'all, because the heathens been knowing about these formulas. But you Israelites, you don't know about this, because remember, we are in captivity. They have stripped us of everything that we was taught by our forefathers. But now YAHUAH is teaching us through the Comforter, and the Comforter is Yahusha HaMashiach. It is His Spirit that is teaching us all these sacred things now. Bring these things back to our attention, okay? So this is the first fold. This is the first time that we have an extra moon being produced in 19 years, okay? Now, how I knew that we're going to have 30 days in this 13th month, which is Adar the 2nd. This is Adar the 2nd, okay? For the year of 2021 is because I looked at the estimated date that Renew Moon gave to us, okay? So when I take you to the calendar, I'm going to show you that you will see I would get 30 days for that month, all right? Now, the bank of days from the year prior, and that year prior I'm talking about is 2019 to 2020. So that bank of days is 5 days. Now, to keep this simple, y'all, I'm going to give y'all the straight up way to solve this. Once you know how many days are in your sun year and how many days are in your moon year, to get the lunar epoch, yes, the prophet Enoch talk about the lunar epoch, which is the difference of the days between the sun and the moon. Once you subtract the days of the sun from the days of the moon in this year, you would get what we call the lunar epoch. And the lunar epoch will give you the date when the new year will begin. Okay, let me say this again. The lunar epoch, which is subtracting the days of the moon from the days of the sun in this year, will give you the date when the new year will start. Okay, so I already know, because I keep a record, y'all, that the sun for the year of 2020 to 2021 in the heathen's year, it will have a total of 365 days. Okay, it's very important to keep a record, because I'm telling y'all, when the heathens say it has 366 or 365, they can be wrong. So you have to check behind them, because remember, they don't follow Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. Now, for the days of the moon, because we have a 13th month in this year, we would have a total of 384. Now, if we didn't have a 13th month this year, y'all, we would have a total of 354. Now, far as the new moon crescent of the 13th month, it was seen on March the 14th in the year of 2021 at sundown. So this new moon started about 6 days before the equinox day. Now, the date of the equinox is on March the 20th in the year of 2021. Remember, that is the last day in the sun's year, because the prophet Enoch told you in the first, second, and third book, when you read all his writings, he would tell you that the sun year begins after the sun is manifested in the heaven. That is what you have, what? Daylight equal light. However, we know there was a shifting of the earth now. You cannot only go by that anymore. So you have to know where your east point is. And that's from keeping a record for many years. Because now that the earth has shifted, you will see a difference where your east point is. And we talked about that also on the channel. So look at that video as well. Okay. So for this year, we see that the moon started on March the 14th at sundown. It was about 6 days before the equinox. Now, that's not the correct total days of how far ahead the moon was. Okay. Because remember, we had a bank of days. So if I actually want to know where that moon has started, it would have started 5 days in addition, we're 5 days before March the 14th. So if I add 5 days to 6 days before the equinox, you would get 11, which is right. Because when I took the 12th month, if I look at the total number of days for the moon going from the first month to the 12th month of the moon, it was 354. If I take 354 minus the days of the sun in this year, which was 365, you get negative 11. That means we're short 11 days. But you're not going to see that because we had that bank of days that we added in the year of 2018 to 2019. That's what that 13th month does. It does that for us. All right, now let's keep going. So to get the lunar epoch, to know when your new year going to start, I have to subtract 384. These are the days of the moon. Remember, we have a 13th month minus the days of the sun, 365. And when I did that, y'all, I get that we are in a bank or a plus of 19 days. Okay. We're in a plus of 19 days. Now, don't stop there because we have to remember the other bank of days that we would carry over from the other years. So we have to add the 5 days, y'all, to the 19th, and it gives a total of 24 days. Now, just by knowing that, that is the true epoch, in other words. Just by knowing that, I would add the 24 days to March the 20th because that's my equinox day. Okay. So when I'm saying that after March the 20th, in 24 days, this is when your new year will begin. All right. So when I add 24 days to March the 20th, y'all, I get what? April the 13th in the year of 2021. Do y'all see that? Another way of looking at this, if I want to, because I know some people are not good. Let me pull up a calendar and we're going to count it out. That's the best way. Because when it comes to math, a lot of people are not good with it. And I understand because everybody got different gifts. Oh, I should have put the year. Oh, here go one for March the 20th and 21. Let's open that one. Let me do this because I don't like how that's opening. Yeah, let's see how that works better. Okay, let me blow this up because they make it so small. Okay. So I'm saying that my equinox day is on March 20th. So if I count 24 days after this day, let's see when our new moon began. Okay, that's March 20th. So March the 21st will be day 1, y'all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And y'all, it lands on April the 13th. April the 13th. This formula comes from the Father in heaven. This is why it's on point. Now we begin to understand why the rest of the world is going to see the new moon on April the 13th. The only place is different is Hawaii. Okay? And we know that Passover must happen on the new moon day. So April the 13th is your new moon day. It will never be on the Sabbath day. Go back and look at the prophet Ezekiel formula. It is separate unto Yah. It is the Alef. It is the first unto Yah. It's just a holy day. It's not a day of rest, but it's a holy day. It's a sacred day unto Yah. Remember, he likes for us to worship him in the beginning of his months. Read Numbers chapter 28 to Numbers chapter 29 and look and study the difference of these holy days. Okay, look at the sacrifices and the feasts they offer on these days. So that day is separate. Then following after the new moon day, we count 7 days. Okay, that'll be April. Let me sure I'm looking at this right. April the 20th, right? So that'll be the 8th day in this month. Okay, that's the first week. So if we add 7 days to 8, which would be the 15th day of the moon, right? That'll be April the 27th. So Passover will begin on April the 26th at sundown. Now, when you look at the date of your full moon, okay, let's go to the date. Let's go back to time and date. Let's go back to time and date to get the date of the full moon or rod. The full moon in April will fall on April the 27th at 6:31 a.m. So the date, remember, the Most High day overlap in these heathen days now, because we start our day from sundown to sundown. So the date on the timing of this full moon is at 6:31 a.m. Israel daylight saving time. Okay, so it will actually begin from April the 26th at sundown, ending on April the 27th at sundown. So let's go back to the calendar here. So again, it lines up. The 14th day, starting at sundown, from April the 26th at sundown to April the 27th at sundown. This is your full moon day. Everything is lining up. Okay. So this will conclude this announcements. Okay. Let me see here. Let me go back here. And now this is giving you proof about these writings, y'all. When you test them out, when you go and observe the heavens, you will see everything line up. Remember, Torah say we have 2 and 3 witnesses of these things. And I want to stress this to the Israelites. I want you to hear this. You should not only be paper calendar keepers. You should be going out testing what you have on paper. You should be going out observing the heavens and the earth. You also should be doing these mathematical calculations too. This is how we know that those writings are true and they're on point and that they come from heaven above. So those who want to disregard the first, second, and third writings of Enoch, as well as what the prophet Ezekiel say about the calendar setup, you're not arguing against us. You're going against what your father told you in heaven to keep. So if you don't understand this, I highly recommend that you go to him in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, and that he give you the confirmation you need so you know what to follow. Because he took me back to the foundation. He said, go back to my foundation. That was Genesis chapter 1. And to eliminate a lot of these other calendars out here, what you should be looking for is that calendar should have the 3 lights, the sun, the moon, and Mazar. For example, let me take you to this calendar. Okay. Close this tab out so that'll help. So this is the 13th month. I know I'll be going kind of fast, but let me take my time and go down. And like I said, I've been keeping record. Those who don't follow the 13th month, I've been keeping record because I know some people be doing line, and what they do, they'll change over to keep up with us, but they still won't honor the 13th month. It's crazy. Just like for this year in the 2021, those who didn't keep a 13th month, yeah, I'm keeping record of what you're doing. This will be their first month. And we're going to see if they're going to follow behind the Jewish, because some of them are following behind the Jewish, which is the YAHUAH, okay, the converts. All right. So this is the 13th month calendar. To have access to this calendar, go to the video description box and click on the link. Okay. But as you see here, that's why I took you here. As you see here, what I'm pointing out to you, not only do this calendar have like the phases of the moon or the dates of the moon, it also has the dates of the sun. Do y'all see that? And to help my people to understand this calendar to what the heathens taught with the Roman calendar. Remember, that's the fourth beast calendar. That's the Gregorian calendar, which come from Rome, y'all. Italy is the fourth beast calendar. So to help you understand the Most High calendar, I do put the heathen date so you can learn this. Okay, remember the Father's different from the heathen. He start his day from sundown to sundown, for he's the Father of lights. However, on the heathen's calendar, they start their day from midnight to midnight because they follow the father of darkness, okay, which is Satan. So that's what I'm pointing out to you. Notice here I have the dates of the sun, the dates of the moon. Even the Dead Sea Scrolls would back me up for how people keep record of these things, okay? Then I give you the date of Mazzaroth when the sun entered to Mazzaroth. So that calendar, whoever calendar you're following, they should consist of those three lights, so you won't go in error. And we have already proven that when one only follows the moon, or when one only follows the sun, what happens is they would find that they would end up starting their year early and early because they're not following all three lights. And for record, as you see, Israel kept Passover, but it didn't fall on the full moon day. So that was already another sign unto them that they was out of season. Okay, out of season. Remember, the Father always give us signs in the heaven. So I'm just scrolling down, but this is what the calendar should consist of, y'all. If it don't, then they put it themselves to go in error. I'll just put it like that. All right, I have said enough on this video, y'all. It's time for me to go. Okay, and again, I wish y'all Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy this day of rest, and get ready to look out for the next moon. Okay, get ready to look out for that. Because it's going to be a exciting time, because we can see that the signs in the heaven and the signs in the earth is let us know that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, y'all. We are closer than we think. All right, continue to preach that that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10, and baptize the people in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, for the lambs an example of the water baptism and the Holy Spirit baptism, and you will see his disciples / apostles continue them both. However, in this time now that we're in, due to the plague of the COVID-19, we cannot always go and fellowship with our assembly, which is the congregation of Israel. And the congregation of Israel consists of Israelites and Gentiles, males and females, bond and free, circumcised and uncircumcised. Remember, the Father's the same. What he did in the old, he also done it in the new. It's the congregation of Israel, okay? But if you have no one to baptize you, this is where you exercise your faith. This is where you put your faith into works. You can baptize yourself in your bathroom, in a swimming pool, or wherever there's water. You can baptize yourself. For the water is the second witness in the earth in 1 John chapter 5, as well as the earth and his heavens are a witness unto him. Because our Father poured his Spirit upon all his creations, therefore they can report back unto him and let him know who has entered into the renewed marriage that the Messiah made for us, Yahusha HaMashiach, who is the second Adam, the anointed one, you know. He's also the fountain of the living waters. He is the one that can give you the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. This is why you never go thirsty. He's also the bread of heaven, known as manna. This is why you never go hungry, for he is the living word that will keep you fed and satisfied. You won't be going to and fro and going to all these books and other people, however, you know, etc. And the same thing with the Holy Spirit. The Father made it easy unto you to have access to that as well, or to be given that. All you have to do is ask in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, and he shall give it unto you according to your heart, faith, and works. Because remember, he is your Father. He made you, and he knows what is best for you. Okay? Shalom.